Ian, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Awesome. Thanks for coming back on again, man. How many times have you been on now? How many times have we had the Ian showcase?
Maybe like the fourth, fifth time already.
Yeah, nice, nice. I love these. So, I guess let's just give people a bit of a feel for what's gone on before. So, generally, when you've come on, you've shown us some pretty insane clan boss comps. A favorite of mine is the double Turvold, just coming in and smacking for 3 to 400k a smack.
Yeah, so ever since Gentoro came out, that was the champion that I've wanted to pull, wanted to try out. I've been pulling for him, and finally, a couple weeks ago, his 10 times came on. I
Yeah.
pulled all my shards. I was prepared to whale out for it, but thankfully, I was able to pull him in all the shards that I have. I didn't have to spend any money.
And why particularly did you want Gintoro?
I like his look, I like his mechanic, and I just like damage dealers that deal a lot of damage on the clan boss.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
Yeah, so I've tried him obviously in a clan boss unkillable team, but I put him together with Turvold, so two of the biggest
Ah,
clan boss damage dealers together. Yeah, and
and you've gone
so
for reflex gear, yeah?
yep, reflex gear.
So you're just trying to cycle back to his A3 as quickly as you can, right?
Yep, and then even if his A2 gets lowered, his A2 also lowers his A3. So any one of his skill getting lowered is great.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. So what we're doing here,
And
War Master. So you got War Master over Giant Slayer.
yes, since all his hit is a single hit, it's only when he procs that 5 hits where he does multiple hits.
Yeah,
But other
yeah.
than that, it's all single hit. Yeah,
And it
and
looks like you've gone unkillable with the setup. So what's the team comp going to be?
yeah, so it's Turvold, Krila, Gintoro, and double man eaters.
Okay, so let's see what the turbo
Oh, and
build
by the
looks
way,
like.
take a look at my Gintoro for a second. So like right after I got my Gintoro, I farmed like 4k gems worth of energy for Shadowkin accessories, and those are what I
Ah,
have to show. Yeah, and if you take a look at my amulet, I've got a little bit of bone to pick with the gear rating. It's saying that my amulet is just as strong, and I've
okay.
got kind of like a triple attack and accuracy, perfect
Yeah,
for
you
my
know what?
Gintoro.
Because the gear rating would see this, the triple attack, as the low roll.
Right.
Just because generally on amulets and banners, we've rated accuracy as like the high roll and resistance as the next one. So that's interesting. I mean, it's interesting because it gives you like a use case. But obviously, with any of the gear stuff, it's meant as a guide for people that don't understand the game that well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep.
so what did you say it came up as?
It's strong.
Strong. Whereas for you in this
Uh,
situation, it's actually basically godlike.
yes, exactly.
That's interesting. That's good. Good to know.
So my banner was this banner was a little sad. I got like my first two roll got a speed and attack, and then the 12 and 16 roll just went downhill.
Oh, really? Yeah. Still nice though. Still,
Mhm,
still pretty decent. And then you've managed. So you've got a 255 crit damage
mhm,
and a 5.8, close to 5.9k attack.
Yep, in reflex.
Reflex. Yeah, that is
Mm,
some pretty good numbers right there. And then
yeah,
your Turvold. So we've
Yep,
done Fury set Turvold.
yep,
Is this ended up being your kind of go-to now?
yep. This is my go-to now. I've tested both Fury and Retaliation, and I think Fury uh, edges out a little bit more because I can get it in better stats. If I have my
Okay.
Retaliation, it's slightly less stats, so Fury has the better stats.
So we've got 6.2k attack. So you probably are you over stacked on crit rate a bit with Krila? Would you
Maybe.
not normally?
Yeah, it's a little over, but I guess this is just the gear that I have.
Yeah, yeah. 250%. So still, I mean, he's still going to be smacking it really hard.
Yeah, and if you can take a look at my Turvold's banner as well. So this is
So you've got
a pretty weak banner.
yeah.
But if you take a look at my barbarian accessories, the attack banner, just in my artifacts, the first one.
You
So
got your
it has
quadrille speed. Wow,
yeah,
that is
it
literally the unicorn right there.
yeah. The thing is, Turvold needs so little speed that I can't
Yeah,
fit this banner into my Turvold because
yeah.
it makes him
Is
too
there even
fast.
any is there any barbarians that would be meta in the arena? Can't
It's
think of
the
any off
only
the top of my
attack.
head.
Yeah, it's either Yakarl and Turvold. That's the only strong
Yeah,
barbarian attack champions.
attack based. That's literally it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Elder
all
Scarf's
Elder
not going to
Scarf,
get in
but
there.
this yeah,
That's a shame because that's really where you want those kind of super high rolls. Is definitely um, arena focused
or
if you
when
want to
I
push them.
finally pull my Farrakhan, then he can be in my
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. You wouldn't put an attack banner on a Valk though. That's what I mean, guys. The reflex again, 4.8k. So we've got about 4 times the attack, and you got about in terms of equivalent 3.5 on the crit damage. This is going to be a really hard hitting build as well. Krila hits so hard, guys. Literally such a crazy clan boss champion, and considering that's in reflex as well, that's actually nuts.
yeah, and
Attack
Krila
percent. Oh,
got
we got 2
the
off pieces.
she got the scrapped pieces since Jintoro has my best reflex gear.
Yeah. So see what I was saying just then when we were rolling that Savage gear, like the pieces that have been kept here, either high speed rolls or high crit rolls generally. Double roll crit on attack percent boots. That's what I was hoping for. Obviously 6-star, but on my Savage boots or something like this. And then you've gone for the accessories with the chance to
Yep, the refresh accessories.
drop. Yeah, so you've not gone for a banner.
Yeah, I still
I
don't
guess
have
you just
a
don't
good
have one
attack
that
banner.
works.
Yeah.
We've actually got a lot in this faction though.
Yeah, I never pulled an attack one except the
Yeah.
4-star.
Okay, let's have a look at the man eaters. So you've stuck with the poison gear, toxic gear on the man eaters. Oh, that's a lot of damage on a man eater right there for toxic set. And you're at 216 speed here, which I didn't check that on the other ones. 216 and 214.
Mhm.
And then what do we have for the other speeds? Prela super slow, 170. Turvold super slow, 153. And Gintoro, 172. So actually, in terms of like speeds, it's so achievable, isn't it?
Yep, it's the easy double man-eater comp.
In terms of things like the extra turn on the Turvold, just for someone who's not seen one of your kind of showcases before, explain to people how you're making Turvold work in an unkillable team.
Yeah, so this Turvold is tuned in this easy double man-eater team where he always takes his double turn before the man-eater does his
Taco
unkillable,
love.
and they do it in like a proper order. So it's not that any champions can be put in with extra turns. It has to be specific extra turns every 2 turns. So Turvold does that. An example is Krutraxa. If you have Krutraxa as well, who does extra turns every 2 turns, that could work as well.
Yeah.
So it has
So if
to
you had
be
crew
specifically.
tracks running this team, you could do the same comp, but you just have to adjust the speed because I think Turvold
Yeah.
places increased speed on himself, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So she would have to have the regular speed needed.
Cool. Okay, well, let's get into seeing it. Let's do this. So this is any affinity, I take it, because of the double man-eaters.
Yep, any affinity.
Yeah.
It only suffers, I guess, in force because of the Gintoro magic affinity.
And then you've gone for ally attack in all battles, which actually benefits all of them, which is
Right.
it's fairly unusual to find someone who's actually got an aura in the man-eater comps that gives you any real like benefit. Our guys just asked to see the Great Hall. Yeah, we did show at the start. Great Hall is pretty juicy, Batman. Basically, damage maxed. That's we know what IanK likes for damage. Do you want to walk us through the setup?
Yep. So the A2 on the man-eaters first.
Yeah. A2. Again, we got the poison procs coming in.
Then A3.
So we get the decreased defense and weaken out. Oh, she's got resist. Unlucky.
A3. A1 on Turvold.
A1 for Turvold. Still
Then
100k double hits.
Yeah, A3 and A1.
Let's get the unkillable up straight away. Then the A1. Take it as always A2, would it be for?
Normally I would A2, but I'll A1 here because the cooldown already procced on that, so it will have it next turn anyway. Yeah, so I'm saving it for the next turn. A3?
A2.
Oh yeah, A2, sorry.
So obviously Krita gives us the ally attack.
Yep, A1 on all the man-eaters and Turvold.
Is this meant to happen?
Yep, that's fine. Then A3, Gintoro. Yeah.
So you've speed tuned this so that he deliberately takes a stun of you?
No, any one of them can take the stun. So if you see, like the other man-eater has the unkillable and block debuff on at this point. So if he takes the stun, it's fine. So this man-eater can take the stun.
Okay.
Yep, A2. A2.
So that's the refresh artifacts coming in there, isn't it? Because she just used that skill.
Yep. Then we can A3 on turbo.
350k. I don't know how many buffs he had on there, but that's pretty gross.
A1. Okay, so it could proc again, so we can use A1. Or we can use A2 as well, just to see the damage.
Oh, A1, 172k right there.
A3. And A1. A1.
A1 on the turvolts.
Yep, we're reaching there. A1. A2. A3. A3. A2.
A2 here, yeah.
Yep, then A2, A1 on turbo. A1. We can auto now.
So from here, right, okay.
Yeah.
263k there from Jintoro. I'm interested to see what his 5-hitter does, actually. There it is. Oh, look at that, guys. 250k per hit, swinging 5 times.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
so beautiful to watch.
That's over 1 million damage in one ability there. What's the most you've seen out of that? Is that pretty much max?
I think I've seen like 270k per hit.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
disgusting
and
right
in like a proper team, not like a team that is like built with Gerp Tuck and all those
Yeah.
things.
I mean, bearing in mind
Yeah.
he's wearing reflex gear as well. So,
Mhm.
wow. That's beautiful. I love the way you keep shoehorning Turvold into anything you do as well. It's brilliant, man.
Yeah. Now I tried this team before without Turvold. I used Fushan instead.
Yeah.
But the team didn't do, I guess, as much damage. Turvold is still the king.
Yeah, it's just the setup for Turvold. So if you're not used to using him, like obviously you've used him for a long time now, the setup's quite tricky to understand. You know, the
Mhm.
fact that we're doing the A1s where we are, you know, if I didn't know what to do with Turvold, I would imagine I was just meant to use my A3 whenever I could, or my A2 whenever I could.
Yeah.
But the first kind of 7 or 8 turns worth of setup makes this then
Mhm.
auto possible.
Yeah. And normally people will also like after A2, people will A3 immediately. But in this case, it's better to wait 1 turn to get the extra double buff from your team. So you have 5 buff instead of 3.
Yeah. So just while it's running through again, I see a few people are asking about speeds. Do you know the speeds off the top of your head just to run through for people?
Yeah, so my Jintoro is 172. My Krila is 170. My Turvold is 153. Man-eaters are 216 and 214.
Brilliant, yeah.
And this is the easy double man-eater team. So there are multiple different speed ranges you can use. There's like a 214, 218. So if you go to the website and you use the clan boss calculator, you can kind of play +1, -1 speeds on
Sure.
each of the champions.
So you say this works all affinities, obviously, so we've got the man-eaters running.
Yep.
And does the same setup work for different clan bosses as well?
It works for Nightmare as well, but the setup is a bit different. Just the timing of the skill is different.
Yeah.
Mhm. But it works on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare.
Okay. Cool. That Turvold's still slapping up there for 350 and 400, guys.
Yeah.
What if you had 2 Jintoros, do you think you'd do more damage?
No, actually, Turvold is still even this
Turvold's still the
team,
king.
even Turvold does the highest damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. River Martyrs, thank you for the sub. Do you have any advice for speed tuning comps that aren't listed? Ian, do you want to go for that? I know that you do quite a lot of ad hoc speed tuning. Like, how do you even begin?
So it depends on, I guess, what kind of team you're using. So if you're using like a man-eater type team and you're using like a counter-attack type team, so there's variation. So it depends on the champion you want to use and how you want to tune them. So that's the first thing, is what champions you're using. Then after the second thing that I look into is like the order of their skills. So who do in which order I want each champion to use their skills in. So normally, just as an example, you want the decrease attack and decrease defense and weaken champions to go first. So they use their decrease defense and weaken first, and everyone can do their damage.
Yeah,
Then you can use the buffers. Like if you're using a Valkyrie, you want to have the increased defense first before Valkyrie uses the shield, stuff like that.
sure.
Then if you have ally protection, you want them to be the last to go last in the order, and obviously counterattack last as well.
Yeah. But generally, if there's a comp that's not working, I mean, I've done this a number of times. There seems to be speeds that just kind of unlock different compositions. So I tend to find that something will probably work up to a 5 on the end of a speed, like 175, 185, 215, whatever. And it seems to be after you go over a certain threshold, then it will just start to throw the order of a comp out. But honestly, it's a lot of it is look at established speed tunes and use that as your starting point, because you know that, if you've got certain, you see the people stagger their speeds, that's because you have to stagger speed. So you almost want to understand, well, what's already working, and then you kind of start working backwards from there, depending on what you're trying to throw in. So if you're trying to throw in something in with increased speed, for example, well, you know kind of ballpark numbers, what that's going to do to everybody's speed on your team. And you kind of have to start just literally playing with, I mean, I don't know, there's probably a better way of doing it, but for me, I just literally play with tweaks of numbers until it starts to look like it's syncing, and then you can work from there.
Yeah.
But it's anyone who says to me, and I get this a lot, by the way, I just want to do this. Can you just tell me what speeds they need to be? It is not a 2-minute job. It's not like, I'll tell you what, yeah, that's going to be 105 and then put that one in at 182. That's not the way this works. The people that build these compositions, the people that come up with the speeds, they spend a lot of time figuring this stuff out.
Yep, exactly.
And obviously, the more that you've got, the more that are out there, I think the easier it is to figure out another one, because there's more points of reference to call from. But it's still extremely difficult to just throw out a new speed tune.
Yep.
This is nice damage though. 47 million after 30 turns. So we're doing about 1.5 million over that per turn right now.
Yeah, so the problem I have with, I guess, this comp is that since Gentoro is in the reflex gear, so
Yeah.
the timing of his decreased defense and weaken will vary. So sometimes when Turvold does his like A3, he will do it when there's no decreased defense and weaken down.
Sure.
So the damage will be much less, like half less. So at this point it went back into sync, but during like the past 10 turns or so, it was out of sync.
Yeah. Yeah, because actually, even though his A2 cools down his A3, you don't have decreased defense and weaken out, like even nearly the whole time, do you?
Yeah, it's not 100% uptime. And it's also like the timing of the skills, because in this comp, Turvold will go first, so he will go before Gentoro uses his decreased defense and weaken, so that is also a factor.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that didn't see the start here, we've got Gintoro and Kreela both in reflex gear to get their cooldowns reduced as quick as possible. And then Turvold's in a Fury set here. So basically, the more health he loses, I think up to 50%, right?
Yep.
Up to 50%, he gets a damage boost. And a lot of people have played around with Fury. I think Fury is as strong as any other set out there for an unkillable team. It's just gear that people don't generally have good stats in.
Yep.
It's
and
nice,
it's usually better for like raw damage dealers as well.
Yeah.
And I think I saw my biggest.
Do you ever use it outside of Clan Boss?
Outside of Clan Boss, no. I mean, I use my exact same Turvold in Faction Wars, so
yeah. But you wouldn't build someone in Fury just because you think it's a better set than more standard stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I can see maybe like a Skull Crown in Arena, but it's very easily countered, I guess.
Yeah, because even then, like I think you'd get more value from retaliation gear or any other set that's basically making you hit back.
Yeah.
For something like a Skull Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Fane saying you use your rug, not in Fury. Is that in Clan Boss rug, Fane, or is that in sort of general content? But look at this. We're already at the 1 key mark after turn count. Like, basically, it's going to be after 40. And obviously with 2 man-eaters, because there's no poisoner in this comp, 2 man-eaters in toxic gear. I mean, firstly, they hit hard anyway because of the level of gear that Ian's running here, but also we've got a pretty decent stack of poisons up. And when you're running at like 214, 218
Keep up
speeds,
the great work.
it's actually kind of easy, isn't it, to get toxic gear on? We're not talking
Yep.
260s, 270s where you need all speed. Actually, it's achievable.
Yep.
Yeah. We got no. There's no lifesteal gear here. You don't need lifesteal gear. The reason why you're seeing regen of health is because of a mastery that does health based on the damage you do when you're less than 50% health.
Oh, a 400k hit there.
Yeah, look at that.
Like
I
instantly.
kind of
full
still want
health.
Turvold, even though I know this would be all I would do with him as well, but I still want him just to do this. Oh, it's good to see. Good to see.
Like, some people find clan boss boring, but I really love just watching the damage on the clan boss.
Yeah, definitely. I've been meaning actually. I need to build out my. I want to call him my Embrago, but no, it's not his name. Brogni.
Yeah.
I want to build him out soon and see if I can beat my like personal clan boss record. I've not got around to
I'm
it
not sure. I'm not sure if his like the shield procking giant slayer has been is still happening or was it fixed? I know the artifact thing was fixed, like triggering the artifact effects.
Yeah,
But
I'm not sure. I'm
if
not
the
sure actually.
the
I
giant
haven't
slayer
seen
thing-
any more
Yeah.
Stu videos on it. So
Yeah.
Stu was like obsessed with the different gear sets. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Some people saying it's still working, other people saying it doesn't work. So I guess we still don't know.
Oh, so the giant slayer still works, but the artifact effects don't work anymore.
Oh, okay. So the deal was what if people have got reflect on, the giant slayer can proc off every reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't
And,
sound
like,
like
the
that's
clan
right. I mean,
boss,
I feel like
like-
that's what reflect should do. That'd actually make it useful. This is good damage though. What's the highest number you've hit with this team? 80, near enough 88 mil there.
Yeah, I think I feel like 88, 89 mil. I haven't
Okay.
hit 90 million.
Yeah. And what we got here, so 20.5 mil from Gintoro, 29.9 million from Turvold, guys. Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah. Turvold still does like 50% more damage than all
Yeah.
the other damage dealers.
Even though Gintoro's throwing out every 4 or so turns.
Yeah, I think like every 8
Probably
or so
less than that,
turns
is it?
maybe. Yeah, no, it's like every 8 turns, I think. 8 to 10 turns.
What he does is 5-hitter.
Yeah. Because you have to do it like 5 times, and on
Oh, of
average,
course,
like
yeah,
he does
yeah, of
it
course it
every
is.
2 turns, so it's like
Yeah.
10 turns at least.
Yeah, so actually he's only doing it maybe
Yeah, maybe
what,
about
5
5
times through the whole
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he does it, he does
maybe,
a 1.3 million, but
yeah, maybe someone can find a way to have Gintoro in like a 100-turn team.
yeah.
See
Well, I
if
guess
that works.
if he had 3 pieces of that refresh gear as well, you might start getting close. but-
Yeah. Yeah, Plarium, start selling refresh accessories.
Damn though, that is so good. 29 million Turvold. 14, I mean, I say this a lot, but Kreela can hit 14.6 million Kreela. That's nice. Cool. Ian, thank you so much, man. Really good. Really interesting again.
Thanks. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
No doubt. We'll give you a shout out on YouTube as well. Normally do. No, thanks a lot, man. That's really good.
All right.
Always
Thank
fun
you.
to see your team comps, man.
Bye.
I will see you soon. Cheers, man.